Employment law is one of those areas of law where people have a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of water cooler ideas, or I saw this on TV, or Facebook likes kind of thing. But it's important to know what the actual law is in Canada in order to decide what your legal position is. You want to make sure that you're not giving up rights and that you're well represented in terms of what is offered to you. In case of employment law, what often comes up is a notice assessment. What is a reasonable period of time for an employer to give you as an employee notice instead of paying you out severance or termination pay? And that's what the reasonable notice is. It's giving you time, saying, we're giving you notice that you're going to lose your job in 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, 6 years, whatever time frame. And because we're giving you so much notice, we don't have to pay you out anything. A lot of times an employer won't do that because they question someone's, motivation to do a great job if they know they're going to lose their job. But sometimes they do, and so it's really important to make sure that you have an assessment done to see if that notice period is reasonable or not. Now, what makes it reasonable? There's a lot of situational factors, and it's going to be really important to have this reviewed with your employment lawyer. So you're going to be looking at things like how old the employee is, how long they've been in the workforce for, how much more time they have in the workforce, what their qualifications are, if they're upper management versus an entry-level position. They're going to look at how long you've worked for that company. If you worked there for 35 years, your reasonable notice period is going to be a lot longer than if you worked there for 4 months. They're going to look at things like if the employer is relocating you, or the employee, if you as employee are relocating, if the position has changed. They're going to look at your salary. They're going to look at the type of job you have, again, management versus high skilled versus low skilled. They're going to look at other job options that are in the workforce at that time. They're going to look at your position. Is it easy for you to get a new job or harder? Obviously, if it's harder to get a new job, then a longer notice period would be reasonable. And if it was really, really easy to get a new job, then a shorter one. Now, because there's so many factors that are involved there, it's one of those times where it's probably better to just have someone assess that for you. Make sure that you're taking the right approach to it, because if your employer owes you money, you're probably going to want to make that application for a severance package or termination pay. Sometimes this comes up in the context of an employer wants to change the fundamental term of your agreement with them, the contract, whether they're changing your role or they're changing very important terms of your employment contract. They may say, hey, we're still going to have you here, but you're going to be doing this job, but we're giving you notice of this change 6 months. And then you can't go after them for constructive dismissal because you're giving that notice period. All very complex, all really important to make sure that you have proper advice and direction to make sure that you're represented properly when it comes to you and your job.